All right, we are back. How's everybody doing? Took a little break there. Get that going. Ole Miss coming out strong. The Rebels coming out strong. Keywan Lacey's going to be the key to this game. How many yards can Lacey obtain? But yeah, there's that. Got to send a message here. Sorry about that. Appreciate everybody who is jumped on back for round 2. So we'll see what Ole Miss can do against the vaunted Georgia Bulldogs. So that's what we got. Ole Miss has acquired a first down on this drive already. So we'll see. Let me check my audio, make sure everything is working correctly. Yes, we are good. And we got picture of the Vaught. Trinidad Chambliss. Ooh, incomplete. Incompletion by Chambliss. If you watched all the pregame stuff, it was the how do I want to say this? It was try to think, but it was all the Ferris State stuff. 3rd and 10, misfire Chambliss. So we'll see. Trying to get that out there. And then we saw the dismantling that was Indiana, Alabama. So Ole Miss got the punt unit on, wearing the powder and white with the real tree helmets. I love those real tree helmets, to say the least. An all SEC Sugar Bowl. Oh, Zachariah Branch. That's a kid to keep an eye on, to say the least. Ex of USC. Sorry, I'm looking for something. All right, here we go. Indiana's first bowl win since 91. It's just unbelievable. I cannot believe we have gotten there. So we're getting that. I got to do a repost of the stream. Everything's all out of sorts whenever you take a break for a second. Uh-oh. Here goes the Rebs. Damn it. Trying to get this all figured out. That's where we're at. Just that play action caught him up in the mesh. So Georgia, first down as well. Keep an eye on 86, the ball kid. I think he's going to be a dynamic player. Also, I better check the... There's that. Okay, got that up and going. I got to take that down. Let me edit that. But yeah, we got tons of stuff. Also, we're going to do the post-game show. That'll be full call-in show. Wow, Gunnar Stockton out the gate. Diving for it. He has shown up to play tonight. Georgia last year lost this game to Notre Dame as well. But yeah, they played, what was it, October 18th, when Ole Miss was number 5. Georgia put up 43 on Ole Miss. So we'll see if Pete Golding can put a damper on that parade. But in the pregame, in the pregame, they were trying to harp on big time Ole Miss's coverage grades. So I think the Ole Miss secondary, I'll be curious to see what how much Gunnar Stockton airs it out. That's really what I'm going to be curious on. Colby Young is able to play today. But I think, the Rebels can do the best thing the Rebels can do is just try to keep these Georgia skill players in front. They are going to move the ball, but if you bend but don't break is the moniker. I think we're going to see some very interesting times after the game, because if Ole Miss wins this game, it's going to be, oof, boy. Also, the storyline is going to be fascinating. Carson Beck versus Georgia. Carson Beck versus Georgia, I think, is fascinating. That is also made for TV. But also on the Ole Miss side of things, you have LSU's coaches with the transfer portal in Charlie Wise and about a handful of other coaches that are, still working for Ole Miss currently. And with the Lane Kiffin stuff, I guess allegedly Kiffin was going to show up to the game, and then I think other people were like, dude, do not show up here. I think that's also a fascinating part on it as well. But also, if you're new here, like the content, do us the biggest favor, hit that like and subscribe button. I know I sound like a broken record, but kind of what it is. That helps us grow the platform and the podcast. So that's what we got. We got the first media timeout of the day. 2 minutes, 50 seconds is what they're rolling with tonight. So that's what I kind of wish on the TV side of things. Well, there's that. Just reading the Twittersphere. There's Texas people saying Cam Coleman, the Auburn wide receiver that's in the transfer portal, is, I guess, getting linked to Texas. Bryce West of Ohio State in the portal. Everybody's got a hot take. Kalen DeBoer is getting fired next year if it's the same result. Just whatever. I'm not buying that. The dude's buyout's like $70 million. You got to think he took over a program that got ravaged by the transfer portal. So you gotta look at it for what it is. Just reading some interesting stuff here on the old Twittersphere. Oh, wow. I'm looking. Trying to see Greg Sankey throwing some stuff out there. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I like Ole Miss to cover the 6.5 tonight. They are backed up in their own end zone to start this out. It's going to be a rough one. Basically, you just need a couple first downs to essentially try to flip the field. Oh, yeah. All right. What do you like here, Charlie Wise? Little Keelan Lacey action. That kid runs hard, and he is not scared of contact at all. Uh-huh. There's that. Also, we got more Lacey action. Uh-oh, Keewan, big hole, big hole. Come on, Rebs. Pulling for the Rebs hard tonight. I know some people probably won't like that, but come on, Rebels. Appreciate everybody hitting that like and subscribe button. That helps us a ton. Just getting it going here. I figured there'd be a little bit slower traffic on this one. Oh man. What a tackle. Just grabs him and hangs on. That's about all you can do in that position. Let's get I gotta get over to this. Okay, swing pass. What a run. The Ole Miss is playing hard. You might have a stalemate in the more transfer portal kids. The portal is a never-ending story. Dun-dun. Oh, where do I want to do? Wow, that's fascinating. Huh. Just looking at some stuff I got going. As of right now. Okay. Chambliss rolls out. Ooh, man. All right. Ole Miss in Georgia territory. Okay. That's the one thing that Chambliss has struggled with, getting the ball batted down. That Georgia D line is massive. What am I looking for? Okay, give me 1 second. I got to put a post out. All right, sorry for that, everybody. I had to get something posted. Where am I at? Ole Miss coming up for a field goal. Kick is up, and it is long enough. We're good. Okay, get this posted up. All right. So there's that. Appreciate all 105 in here. Second half, I might open the phones early. Just depending. All right. Just looking at some of the stuff on some of the things I've been getting tagged in. A lot of Signetti stuff. Ole Miss got a nice buffer on Georgia. They will lose. Georgia's too tough to mess with. I don't know. I do not know on that one. It'll be interesting to watch DeBoer's press. I got a ton of press conferences to watch. I'm behind on that. I think DeBoer's going to be up there. I heard Joey McGuire said some interesting things. Texas Tech's head coach, their season comes to an end, and they don't put up a single point against Oregon. We've got Indiana, Oregon facing off. I think that no matter how you slice this one, the storylines for next week's games are just going to be incredible. Because if Ole Miss wins, you have the transfer portal open with LSU coaches on your staff. If Georgia wins, you have Georgia going up against Carson Beck, a guy that they kicked to the curb. College football does not disappoint when it comes to having elite storylines. I will say that. If they can get a 17-point buffer by halftime, that'll look good. Well, I think that although I think it's interesting, as they show the smoothie center where where the Superdome's at, or the basketball arena compared to the NFL stadium. Yeah, so, and then also we'll probably open this thing up early. The call-in line will be open in the second half. So there's that. Appreciate everybody who has tuned in and hitting the like and subscribe button as well. Appreciate everybody for that. Yeah, DeBoer is getting. I'm sure that was a tough press conference. I'm real sure that was not a fun press conference, and it'll be the same thing no matter who loses this game as well. The press conferences aren't going to be easy. The questions aren't going to be easy. They got to keep Zachariah Branch contained, and the ball kid. That was kind of piss poor blocking on the perimeter by Georgia on that. But, Reese Davis and the College Game Day people, I heard some bits and pieces of that. They were coming out here acting like Georgia's going to try to sling it all over the place on Ole Miss because of PFF grades. I think if you're going to base your game plan off of PFF grades, you deserve to lose, to be 100% honest. A lot of powder in the dome. I think that's like a five or so hour drive for the Rebels and Rebel fans down to the Superdome, Caesars Superdome. Oh yeah, Georgia center Drew Bobo is out today. He's got a cast on that foot. So we'll see. And bang, swatted at the line. That's a heads up play to get your mid up. Get one of those meat hooks on it. I don't care what anybody says. Oregon can have all their cool little jerseys, but the real tree helmet is awesome. Love the real tree helmet by Ole Miss. Pulling for the Rebs today. Because it'll bring up a ton of questions on Kirby's end as well, because the Georgia fans are punting. It's going to be soon to bringing in a lot of questions. Punt is caught. I don't know if they're going to media timeout us at the moment, but Smoothie King Center is where the X League plays. That's where the Pelicans play. A little sleepy. What do we have here? What's Samuel L. Jackson selling me? Ooh, Capital One. Sell me some debt. All right. So Ole Miss gets it. They're up by a field goal. Ole Miss was in the first game in the regular season. Ole Miss was up 9 going into the fourth quarter, and just defensively they kind of fell apart. And it'll also be fascinating if Ole Miss wins. It's going to get contentious with Mr. Kiffin, considering that I'm assuming they had to talk him out of going to the game. Um, um, I'm not shocked that, he wanted to go. But, he wanted to take the job at LSU. So when taking a job, there are consequences. And not being able to have your cake and eat it too is not fun. So there's that. All right. What is. Oh, yeah. Rebel Wilson's selling us something else now with a Sasquatch and a guy with a funny mustache. All right. Come on, Trinidad. Trinidad Chambliss, 0 Division I offers coming out of high school. And he's actually from Michigan. Wow. That would be the most Michigan thing ever. A kid from your state you never offered goes to a small school, balls out, goes to Ole Miss, and is in the college football playoff, and he was in your backyard. But, one of those things, it's kind of like, who knew? Man. Georgia eats that RPO up. This is going to be a big cat and mouse game, I believe, tonight. Also appreciate everybody. And we got the VOT in the background for tonight. So there's that. Another Ole Miss first down. Another Ole Miss first down. Keywan Lacey, I'm telling you, that kid's going to be playing on Sundays. He's going to be playing a lot on Sunday. What a snag. Just goes up and grabs it out of the air. What a play, what a throw, what a catch. Just goes up and gets it. Ole Miss, 109 yards of offense. Now, don't be shocked here in a few. You don't see Trinidad keep one of those handoffs that you just seen Lacey get. The Wallace kid, that was a hell of a catch. The big thing Ole Miss needs is touchdowns. What was that? Oh, yeah. Kiffin introduced at the LSU women's basketball game tonight. That was a hell of a PBU I seen. A lot of Tiger fans. All right, what do we got here, Trinidad? Uh-oh, something was awry. So there's that. Also, Oh, man. Thought I was about to sneeze my brains out. Ty Simpson suffers a cracked rib. What did? Oh, Pate was in the background. That's interesting. Okay. All right, let's recalibrate here. Ole Miss takes a timeout. Obviously didn't like what they seen. So there's that. Also in the second half, we're going to open the phone lines. Just checking it out here. Yeah. That's kind of what we got going. Nothing too major, but makes it hard to differentiate because I got the same shirt on. Phone lines will be open in the second half. I am. Sending messages here. I got people texting me, giving me all kinds of grief about pulling for the Rebs tonight. So there's that. Trinidad had another one batted at the line. That's going to be the issue that Trinidad's going to have all of tonight. Third down, Ole Miss punt looming, so we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. But that's one thing that Georgia probably worked on all week. If you can't get to them, get your hands up. Kicking another field goal. How far a field goal is this? 56-yarder. Bang! Rebels strike again. Hotty toddy. Rebels draw blood. $22 plays for Ole Miss, 49 rushing, 65 passing for a total of 114, 7 first downs, 0 sacks, average starting field position, their own 15. Georgia, on the other hand, 9 plays, 12 yards, 12 rushing yards, 25 passing for a total of 37 yards, 2 first downs, average starting position, the 26-yard line. $56-yard field goal kicked in the Sugar Bowl. All right. Oh, man. Age-old creak in the neck. So there's that. I'm just paying attention to the old numbers here. Pete Golding's second game. Congratulations, Pete. You get to go to the Sugar Bowl to coach your second ever head game as a head coach. All right. What can they do defensively? All right. Let's see what the Rebs can do. Yeah, Nick Frazier, that's a problem. That guy is a beast. Arguably, I think he's only a sophomore, too. Short, choppy steps. Kind of reminds me of a Frazier. Frazier Jr. He reminds me of a more athletic Nick Chubb. So here we go. Stockton under center. Yeah, Bobo's going to try to get Frazier involved early and often. Try to lean on him. Because I think that's what happened to Ole Miss in the first meeting that they had with Georgia late in the game. Well, Georgia kind of diced them up, but they leaned on him. They could lean on him in the run game when they needed to. So we'll see. Uh-oh. Did he catch that? Yep, there's Kobe Young. Ball thrown on the run, bang, catches it with his hands, hauls it in. And that is a catch, ladies and gentlemen. That's a hell of a throw and catch. Okay. All right, Georgia seems to get it rolling now. The 1-2 combo on the ground. Seems like a little pushing and shoving. It's not out of the realm of possibility. The end of the first quarter. That's the end of the first quarter. Ole Miss 6, Georgia nothing, but Georgia is floating on down to Ole Miss territory. So we'll see if that bears any fruit going forward. We'll use that. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Also, second half phone lines will be open. I'm there. Starting to get there, but is what it is. What do we have? Tire shop now. Tire shop advertising. Yeah. More medicine. Yeah, this ought to be fascinating. Also, at halftime, we do take a break, just so everybody is aware. All right. Chewy.com. That is marketed towards the dog owners. ESPN on the Command Center that's got this two different angles of the game, but they got, yeah, they're just doing a lot of self-promotion. Although the command center comes back quicker because it has both angles. It's got TV copy with the Skycam angle. So there's that. All right, where are we at here? We're starting to get it. Frazier again. Yeah, that's going to be. Ole Miss got blown off the ball on that snap. It's going to be the thing here. Can the Rebels keep them out of the end zone? That's going to be the tough thing. Yeah, Frazier is bullying it. Ole Miss is getting pushed around now. Georgia's starting to feel it. Oh, man. All right, Georgia. I don't know why you wouldn't just keep handing it off. You're getting 8 yards of carry. Stockton, touchdown, Dogs. He is pumped up. That was a hell of a run by Gunnar Stockton, to be honest. He's on to hold the extra point in the beginnings of the third quarter or second quarter. And it is good. So there's that. They shouldn't media timeout us. Yep, that's what's happening. Awesome. Okay. Five Guys advertising now. Enjoy Zen. We'll be right back. That's what YouTube TV says. Okay. Uh-oh. All kinds of there are still Miami fans peacocking out here. All right. We'll see if Ole Miss can answer it. That is the one thing, the one consummate. If they can go down and answer it, it'll be interesting. Huh. Yep, dogs on top. All right, let me get this going. People were doing burgers and dogs. All right. Showing some of the press box. Get that done. Okay. Yep, just inserted him in. He sees that play is dead and then pulls it down and zoink, he's in the end zone. Showing Gunnar Stockton's mom. Although I will say the black Georgia hats with the G and the red bill, those are pretty elite hats. All right. So we'll see what they got going here. Lacey stuffed. They just converge, nothing really going there. Ooh, that's interesting. Nick Frazier on the exercise bike. I don't know if it's an injury or if he's just trying to stay warm. Lacey runs into his own guy, but gets the first down. He almost fell down. Thought he probably thought he could have gotten more out of that. Uh-oh. Kirby's going nuts on the sideline about something. Oh, bad snap. Bang, hits it. Chambliss. Big play for the Rebs. Big play for the Rebs. Ooh. Throws a dime. All right. Here we go. Chambliss gets it out quick because they were bearing down on him. Oh, that's a face mask. 15 yards on that. Or is that going to be half the distance? Wow. I don't think he could get the flag out. Oh, yeah. He hooks him around. Can the Rebels answer? All right, here we go. Chambliss. Oh, somebody just got bent up. Keywan Lacey. I bet that did not feel good. Showing Trinidad's mom and dad. I don't like that. Trey Wallace dropped it. Uh-oh, might have a dislocated finger. Oh, they didn't show it. If it was. There's been a couple of times. I'm trying to think of who it was. Somebody one time, it was an NFL game, they dislocated their pinky. Chambliss on the roll, bang, Ole Miss touchdown. Threw a touchdown in the Sugar Bowl. All right, Rebs on the board. Oh, man. Buddy is going bald. I don't know why you go for it. Pete. He shakes the defender. Catch. Good. Scott says, would love to see Kirby go home crying. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, yeah. Trinidad's parents are probably getting texts and calls and pictures from people's TV of them being on TV. So, all right. 10 minutes left in the 10 minutes left. Don't know who that was. Uh-oh. Here comes Nick Frazier back at it. Ole Miss has got to get a stop. There you go. You stop that one. All right. Here we go. Okay. Just trying to get the bearings here. What was that? Cash Jones. Whoa, just takes out somebody on the Georgia sideline. I'm kind of wondering. A lot of Herschel Walker jerseys in the crowd tonight. 3. Ole Miss had it schemed up. They just didn't defeat the blocks and get over there. Oof. Harris got faked out of his shoes. So we'll see what this Pete got dialed up for this. 2nd and 11. Ooh, Stockton takes a sack. That is not a negative play you need. There's powder all over that place. See, that's the one thing Ole Miss can do. If you can keep Stockton in the pocket and make him beat you, that's Zachariah Branch. That is A1 speed right there. Wow. That was a hell of a run. Misses 1 tackle, slips 2, and then finally gets brought down by the 3rd man. All right, Ole Miss. Stuff Frazier in the backfield, Franklin and Harris. All right. Also, at halftime, we do take a break, and then we'll have the post game show. Frazier out the gate again. Bunch of chicks with shoulder pads on. That's not unsettling at all. I'm sure there's some folks that got barked at this week in New Orleans. All right, here we go. All right, get him in the backfield. Looked like counter. Okay. Oh, what a PBU. For all intents and purposes, if they can take that screen game away, they'll and stop them on the early downs in the run game, they'll be all right. Another 3rd and long coming up for the Dogs. Uh-oh. Oh, Stockton just got crunched. Down at the 1. Gunnar Stockton takes a huge hit to deliver that football. I figured they would have called targeting, but all right, Georgia's in. Second rushing touchdown. Second rushing touchdown for Gunnar Stockton. Ole Miss has got to match it. Kick is up and good. All right, we're going to get TV timeout. Pretty evenly matched in the numbers department. There's a 6-yard difference. Georgia's successes overwhelmingly came in the run game. So there's that. Oh, man. Let's check out some other stuff. What's going on the wild world of ESPN? Ty Simpson's cracked ribs. There's that. Louisville's running back says he's entering the transfer portal. Are the Rebs going to be able to respond? Is a couple of questions that I've gotten via the X machine. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. So that's what we got. Nothing too major, nothing too crazy. Um. All right. Yeah, they're giving the Indiana the first team to for a. Isn't that how that looks on the story or on the reel? Okay, let's see here. Pete Golding having a chat with the defense. Go dogs. Let's go. Let's go Rebs. Go Rebs, man. Pete Golding a little pissed off. Also, we're going to open up the phone lines in the second half to do a little pre-game show stuff or post-game show stuff, and then we'll have the full-on post-game show, and that'll depend on caller volume dependent. Pete Golding is pissed that they gave up that score, and undoubtedly, yeah, you gave up 3 third and longs on that drive. 3 of them. All right, let's go, Kevon Lacey. Okay. All right. All right, here we are. Charlie Wise dialing it up. Pete staring at the iPad, trying to get a feel for what they're doing. Chambliss delivers another strike. Trinidad's up to 13 of 20 for 129 yards and a touchdown. Kiwan just doesn't. Oh, no. Did he fumble that? They're calling it Georgia touchdown on the field. Have not seen a replay yet. Are you going to show us the replay so we at least know if it was clearly out? Guess no replay, so What is the flag? Georgia gets a delay of game. Kirby's pissed about something. That's not good. Rebs down 9. A self-inflicted wound. I'm assuming they're going to media timeout us. Yeah. With 2:34, so we can kick it off and go to another commercial. The scoop and score action. No, how do I? Oh, I'm just looking for something that was a hell of a scoop and score. We are deep in there. All right, 2 minutes left. There's a lot of folks in the group chat that are, if Ole Miss doesn't score a touchdown here, it's over. I wouldn't go that far. But definitely going to be, you're already at a 2-score disadvantage for one. All right, let's take stock of the situation. Yeah, I mean, this is a very important drive for the Rebels on this. Oh, no. Touchback. Awesome. I mean, they got to tackle better. They got to tackle better. Yep, Lacey just lost it. All right, here we go. Player down will probably get one play. Probably get one play before we get one play before the 2-minute timeout, because that's coming in 34 seconds. Pro Georgia sentiment / crowd we've got going, but it'll be all right. Pulling for the Rebs. All right. What do you like here, Trinidad? You need a score before the end of the half. Ooh. Double coverage crossing route. Mm-mm. Trinidad got hit a little bit on that. Oh, man. All right. In business, but you only got a finite amount of time here. I mean, Ole Miss has put up 3 scores on Georgia. It's just been 2 field goals and a touchdown and a extra point. All right, 2-minute timeout. Also, like I showed on the other broadcast, that was the pork butt I smoked last night. 10 hours. 10 hours on the old smoker. Also, let me get the halftime graphic loaded up in there. I thought about throwing Gundy on the halftime graphic with this shirt up. Um, all right, just looking at some stuff. Chad Johnson and that, also seeing the Kim Mulkey introducing Lane Kiffin. Nothing really too crazy going on. Media timeout. Like I said, in the second half, we will have the phone line open. The guy that's the Alabama super fan has been to every Alabama football game since 1972. Wow, that is impressive. All right, what can the dogs do? Actually, my boy Richie, he's got pretty good streak with his dad. They live in Canton. They go to the Hall of Fame game every year. The only game they didn't go to was the one that was canceled due to COVID, and that is a huge, huge demoralizing drop because that would have been a first down. Wow. That is a tough pill to swallow. Ball was a little off target, but hits him right in the hands. That was a tough pill to swallow. All right, now it's on the Rebels defense. Do you got to stop in you? Do you have a stop? So there's that. All right. What can the Rebs do here? Stockton stuffed. Old Gunner got stuffed like a turkey on that one. So we'll see. Can Ole Miss dig out of this hole? Ugh. Ugh. That's the big thing we're looking at here. Can they dig out of this hole? All right. What do we have? Oh, Zachariah Branch. They got him. 58. Uh-oh, Kirby's pissed about something. They got another 3rd and long coming up. All right, 58 seconds left in the half. If Ole Miss can get the ball back, can they steal a field goal in the half? That's definitely what I'm thinking. Got to be thinking that if you can steal a field goal. Nope, there's Keith Carter on the sideline. Is Pete going to use that timeout? Yep. Pete uses the timeout. Punt team coming on. So there's that. Indiana, Oregon in the Peach Bowl. Either Ole Miss or Georgia going to the Fiesta Bowl to showdown with Carson Beck. And the last time Carson Beck played Ole Miss, he lost. Gunnar Stockton, 9 of 13, 105 yards. Trinidad Champ was 14 to 23 for 136 and a tutty. But Gunnar Stockton's got 2 rushing touchdowns. I'm really shocked Delp is on the punt team. Uh-oh. Ole Miss looked like they tried to come after it. So they're going to get it about the 26th. Yep, there is. The student section. Chambliss. I think Ole Miss is going to run out of time. Because they got to hit something big. Oh, no. Is that a targeting? It doesn't matter if you hit him with your shoulder. It's forcible contact to the head or neck area. Awesome. We get a review before the first half's over. So Ole Miss would roughly have to get to the 39-yard line of Georgia to kick a field goal. I think the big issue is because of the way his head snapped is why they threw it. It's not helmet to helmet. Because, see, that's what it used to be. You couldn't. Targeting, and they just kicked him out. Ah, that's tough. I don't like it, but that's the rules. It's forcible contact to the head or neck area. What is that? 15-yard penalty. So they're in field goal range now. Hmm. All right, here we go. Oh, another drop. Ugh. These drops are killing Ole Miss. Man. Got to get a completion here to help out your kicker. And you also got to go quick as well. 3, 2, barely gets it off. Why wouldn't you have got out of bounds? Nope, ain't going to get the field goal unit on. Unbelievable. All right. See you after halftime. Unbelievable. All right, we're back after halftime. All right, we got that going. Yeah, they are replaying the Ole Miss mishap. The end of the first half. So Georgia starts back with it. See who draws first blood in this second half. Also, let me get the banner up. All right, let me edit this. Okay, there's that. All right, there we go. Phone line is also open as well if you wanted to hop on, taking calls, and then we're going to do the post game call in show probably 10 minutes after this goes final, because I'll be interested to see how close the game syncs up with the final score, or not the final score, the time when this goes final, because it was an hour and a half first half. It'll be interesting if ESPN keeps these games under 3 hours apiece, because they did hurry the Rose Bowl along. Ooh, Stockton. Nothing doing. I don't know why you thinking running a QB draw would be a good idea on third down when you have Frazier back there, even though I don't have any volume. All right. All right, here we go. All right. So Pete Golding. All right, the Rebs need to lock in here. All right. What am I looking for? Huh. $100. Oh, Mr. Ratari has entered the chat. All right. What do we got here? Oh, I gotta get that posted. All right, Chambliss. 1st and 10. Keywon Lacey, Georgia's. Oh man, the guy lost the beanie cap and the helmet. Little flim. Ole Miss is beating them in the yards battle again. But the costly field goal scoop and score. So there's 10. Failed extra point. 12 points Ole Miss is left on the field. Oh, appreciate you, Doreen, for resharing and liking. So maybe this will help. Appreciate Doreen for resharing the post on the old X machine. Huh. All right. Direct snap Keywan Lacey, and they are stuffed. No good. No good. Georgia just collapsed the middle of the line. Collapsed it in. That not to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Oh, wow. That's just no good. We're getting here, but we'll have to see what we're up to. Also, phone lines open if you want to hop in. Number to call 260-255-4069 is the number to call. Appreciate Doreen for reposting. Wow. A lot of moving parts. Huh. All right. Getting sold Red Bull, getting sold Bounce. Yeah, because that's what I'm buying. More. Yeah. Huh. Seeing a lot of. Oh man, there are people that are saluting Indiana for being the first team with a bye to win a playoff game. Oh man. Even though I wasn't paying attention, but I cannot believe they went for that on fourth down. Also, the phone lines are open. Number to call 260-255-4069. Got the iPad in full tilt. Uh-oh, Brett Bielema getting active on Twitter tonight. Okay. More portal news just pouring out. Oh, Stockton falls down on the handoff. They swallow up Nick Frazier. All right, third down coming up for the Dogs. Kirby and the Dogs. Yep, Stockton trips on his offensive lineman's mountain of a foot, and the lineman goes down. Stockton hands it off. He wasn't very fleet of foot on that one. So there's that. That is not a first down, but there is a flag on the play. What do we got? It's PI defense. Too handsy. Too handsy. Let's look at it. Yeah. It's because he grabbed his jersey. That's what that came down to. The grabbing of the jersey. Big old dog pile on that play. What do we got? Second and 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Dylan Bell pass. What are you doing on that? What are you doing? Okay. Here we go. Third and 8. Incomplete. Dylan Bell wants a flag. A lot of jawing going back and forth. Kirby's elects to kick the field goal here. $55 yards. This could get dicey. Missed it. Missed field goal. So there is that. Also, phone line is open. The number to call is on the ticker below. Also, if you want to get your call in, number to call 260-255-4069 is the number to call. Just missed it by a couple of feet, so Ole Miss has still got a chance. The Rebels are still alive. Huh. Wonder if I do this. if it'll help. All right. Sorry about that. Getting distracted. Sorry about this. I know this is just riveting podcasting. But the phone line is open. Got the iPad. Also going to do a post-game show as well. Appreciate all 226 people who have joined. Hopefully I got that. Oh, I need to. Updated that. Got that done. Also, phone line is open. Trinidad Chambliss coming back out. Let's keep the ball in the hand of 6 for the duration of this. All right. We're getting it to rock and roll. Come on, Rebs. Because realistically, a score and a stop is what you need. You don't need a field goal. Touchdown. Keywan Lacey. All right. So there's that. Also, if you're new here, do us the biggest favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. That helps us a ton. Keywan Lacey. Nothing doing, just gets back to the line. Lacey, 16 rushes, 74 yards for this evening. There's that. Phone line open as well. A critical 3rd and 2. Essentially, Ole Miss has left points on the field. Left 12 of them on the field. Oh, wow. Just nothing there. Bad snap, nothing there. Is Pete going to go for it again? Yeah, he is. I really don't blame him in this situation. You got to. Fourth and 2. Georgia looks to come after him. Completion. Big play. Big play. Rebs in the red zone. Going to be 1st and goal from like the 7. Here we go. Also, phone line is open. Number to call, 260-255-4069 is the number to call. That was a big play. That was huge. Huge for the Rebels. Georgia subbed. I think Ole Miss sub personnel as well. I think they're going top of the screen. Nah, I don't like Chambliss running it there. Really don't like that at all. Do not like that at all. Okay. What do you like here? Second goal from the looks like 7 or 8 yard line. Where are you going? Oh, there he guy's got a nose for the end zone. Touchdown, Kewan Lacey. Awesome. Good to see. Good to see. Got the Sharks up. Uh-oh. Kirby's pissed about something. Here we go. All right. Rebs down 2. It's where that field goal at the end of the first half comes back to bite you. I hate to be that guy, but facts are facts. Another media timeout. All right. All right. Let's see here. We're getting it together. Even though I'm probably one of the most unorganized podcasts you'll ever watch. But hey, we're here. Also, phone line is open. Number to call 260-255-4069. Number to call. And then we also have the post-game show as well. That has as Captain Kiffin keeps tweeting about the portal being open. So here we go. Also, if you're watching on Twitter, come on over to the YouTube side of things. That's where the fun really happens. Also, phone line is open. Number to call 260-255-4069 is the number to call. Can the Rebels get a stop on defense? Can the Rebels get a stop? Kewan Lacey, Kirby going absolutely postal, losing his mind, out of the coach's box on the field. Can't believe they didn't throw a flag on him for that, for unsportsmanlike. So I guess we'll see. Even though I don't have audio or sound going right now, but That was a huge. They're showing the blitz pickup as well. He just stones a linebacker right there and holds his block. And he's off to the races. Can we see an Ole Miss comeback? Okay, Georgia, Gunner Stockton. Uh-oh. Had to throw that one away. So there is that. This has a chance to get tight here, folks. Oh, man. All right, third down. Can the Rebels capitalize here? That's the big thing. Can the Rebs capitalize? Wallace, 99 receiving yards. Lacey, 81 rushing yards. What is it? 3rd and 5. Keep an eyeball on Zachariah Branch. Yeah. Oh, man. We almost had Fat Man with the football. That'd have been a whale of a time. There ain't nothing better than watching a fat guy run with the rock. Because you got to root for the guy that looks like you. Hits him right in his snout. Just bang right to the face. I bet that didn't feel good. I bet that woke him up. So Georgia changes. Ah, fake punt. Oh, no. That's a way to steal a possession. Yep. Stock block release. Bang. Hell of a fake. Stockton dialing it up. No flag. Okay, what do you like? I think that's the first big shot that they've taken all night, if memory serves correct. So there's that. Also, phone line is open. Number to call. They're coming after Stockton. Just back-breaking. Colby Young. Phone line is open. Number to call, 260-255-4069. When he left him, Stockton pulls it down to run. Wow. Interesting. Gunner Stockton's mom with AirPods in. That's probably a good idea. He jumps up to brace for the hit. He knew he was getting crunched on that one. All right. Go to Branch on that play. The best thing Ole Miss can hope for is field goal. I'll be interested to see what Kirby and the folks do on this one. Minute and a half left in the third quarter. Uh-oh, free rush. That's a big play there. Kirby saying field goal, field goal. Two claps and a Ric Flair for the Hoosiers. Yeah. Number 11 gets in here on that Ric Flair. All right. Georgia kicking a field goal. I think this is a win for Ole Miss. And field goal's good. 24-19. Dogs on top of the Rebels. That was a hell of a ballsy play. Results in 3 points. That was a big play by Gunnar Stockton. He's made 2 of those tonight to where he's pulled the ball down and just straight up got it in. So there's that. Also, phone lines are open, and they're going to be open on the post-game show as well. Just checking a few things. Also, if you're new here, do us the biggest favor and hit that like and subscribe button. That helps us out a lot too. Also, 25 wins, tied for the most wins by an FBS head coach in history. He's tied with DeBoer at Washington. Kirk Cignetti is that, if anybody was wondering. So there's that. So man, that's really good. As I'm looking at some stuff here on the old interwebs. Also, if you want to call, get your call in. Number to call, 260-255-4069. Number to call. So there's that. Just looking at some other stuff here. Can the Rebels come back? It would be a hell of a comeback, one for the ages. All right. So here we go. Ole Miss set to receive it. 30 seconds left in the quarter. We're about to going to go to another media timeout because of the end of the quarter. Trinidad Chambliss, 23 of 34 for 235, 1 touchdown, Keywan Lacey, 17 rushes, 81 yards, touchdown. Wallace the third, 7 catches, 99 yards. So those are the big time stat leaders for the Rebels. All right. What bottled up in the backfield. Not looking good. Okay. So here we go. Rebs looks like they're going to snap it. No, Lacey just lets, or not Lacey, but Chambliss going to the fourth quarter. Going to the fourth quarter. Also, I've never been to a college football playoff game, but what's the deal with the scarves? Why do they pass out? Is it just student section that they give the students a gift for coming? Interesting. Vivid seats this time. Vivid seats and Jeep advertising makes me want to run right out and grab that. Texas has a defensive lineman in the portal now. Have to see what we're climbing into, but also phone line is open as well. Yep. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, I gotta switch on over to. Sorry about that. All right. So where are we at? Okay. Just looking at some of the updated things on other platforms. Yeah. So here we go. Also post game show coming up. Probably about 10 to 15 after the final whistle. We'll have a call-in show as well. Can the Rebels get a stop? Is the big thing. Can the Rebs get a stop? Kind of what we're looking at. Because I know some people will be like, why are you talking about that? Blah, 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 blah. Well, because regardless if they score, they still have to get a Georgia stop. That's the quote unquote big piece of this. Just trying to get some things formulated together. And then after that, it's going to be press conference watching City from all the playoff games. So, Ole Miss 324 yards of total offense. Average drive start for Georgia's been their own 36, Ole Miss 23-yard line. Uh-oh. Wow, what a flip by Trinidad to Keywan Lacey to get out of that. That is true Magic Man stuff right there. Oh, almost runs into a sack. No thanks. There you go, Kiwan. Better get that sucker hiked. Glenn Schumann looks like they're going to come after him. Drifting. Oh, wow. What a catch by Kiwan Lacey and getting the first down. 2 Georgia defenders down on the play. Wow. Hopefully that kid's all right, but wow, what an insane play. Chambliss back there playing Magic Man. I'm the Magic Man. Now you see me, now you don't. Uh-oh, 4 probably dislocated the shoulder. And then you have the other kid come in with his head. That's a first down. Forearm on helmet. That's possible concussion. Uh-oh, 3's got to go get evaluated. Not good for Georgia. Two guys come out. Also, phone line is open. Are we about to see? Uh-oh, coming after Chambliss again. Oh, and Trey Wallace. And Wallace connects. Or Chambliss connects. As the world turns, he just snapped off that route and ran to the open spot. Impeccable ball placement by Chambliss. Can the Rebs take the lead? Here we go. Oh, and he hurdles him. That's a 9-yard gain, 8-yard gain. Wow. We are pulling for the Rebs in this one. It's not that I dislike Kirby, but I think the Ole Miss, the fascinating story, some people would probably say the more fascinating story would be Georgia taking on Carson Beck, but I say no. Interim head coach, well, not interim, permanent head coach takes over. Georgia completely doing like a full line change. Oh, Kiwan Lacey just feed the beast. I wonder when the last time Georgia gave up 100 yards on the ground was. I think that's fascinating. Here comes Chambliss. Sorry about that. I didn't want to sneeze snot rockets all over my screen. All right, let's go. Kirby stressing eyes on this. Eyes. Do we have a little tight end pop pass action coming? Kewan Lacey, is he in? Touchdown Rebels. Here we go. Touchdown Rebels. Kewan Lacey, second touchdown. Let's go. Scott and his hairless cat are here for the party. It is going to be a party in Bourbon Street. Where's the knee? Yeah, ball's in the red. Let's go, Rebs. Also, phone line is open. Number to call, 260-255-4069. Ole Miss going for two again. Pete, come on, dog. Is it good? Yes, sir. Rebs get the 2-point conversion. Let's go. Let's go, Rebs. Are the Rebels going to be dancing in Arizona? Much needed, yes. All right, commercial. Commercial break. Rebels on top by a field goal, by a deuce. I am getting some stuff going here. I apologize. I am all over the Twitter sphere, just doing things. But yeah, we're here. Appreciate everybody who's jumped in and hanging out with us for this evening. So getting some of this stuff done. But yeah, appreciate everybody who's jumped in and joined. Also, phone line is open as well. Is IU the only bye that gets through? That's a statement. Ooh, yeah, that is a big statement. January 19th. Who will it be? Will it be Georgia? Will it be Ole Miss? Even though I'm biased on this one. Pulling for the Rebs tonight. All right, we're back at it. Trinidad Chambliss. They just got to stop. They got to get one stop. That's why I was talking about it earlier. They have to get at least one stop. I'm not saying it's going to be a be-all, end-all, but one stop. Let that get out of the end zone. Yes. Rebels up a field goal. Rebs up a field goal. Got the powder. Powder power. Let's go. Also, phone line is open. Post-game show will be 10 minutes after the final whistle. Probably leave that open for a half hour, depending on call volume. It'll be caller dependent. So here comes Stockton, and he gets out of it. Oh, that's got to about make you sick to your stomach as a D lineman. You had him in the clutches and you let him go. Can the Rebels get there? 11 minutes left. Just under 11 minutes. Nick Frazier, the battering ram. Okay. What's it going to be? Trinidad Chambliss $2.99 tonight. Okay, they're going to need Stockton takes off, and he's going to be short. Uh-oh, 2 Rebels D linemen down. Buddy might have got hit in the area. Might have gotten hit in the area. But also, like I said, injured Rebel down. Hopefully the kid's okay. It looks like he's grabbing at his shoulder, but at first he might have got hit in the nads as well. TV timeout. Also post-game show coming up as well. That's what we got going. Going to be taking calls also on there as well. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. Norfolk Southern D lineman in there. So here we go. That's kind of what we're doing here, but post game show is going to be up shortly. Also, if you're new here and like the content, hit the like and subscribe button. That helps grow the platform as well. So there is that. So we'll see. Just looking at some stuff. All right. Appreciate everybody. Just getting through this media timeout. I would say the next big hurdle for the Rebels is going to be, is Kirby going to go for it? No, it looks like the punter's out there. Looks like the punt team personnel. So there is that. Appreciate all 282. Ole Miss 400 total yards of offense. I would say punt safe is coming for Ole Miss. Got to get the TV people off the field. Punt safe is coming. So they run the offense on the field. Oh, no. Stockton sacked. Oh, no. Oh, no. What a miscalculation by Kirby and the Dogs. What a miscalculation. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What happened on this play? Oh, the tackle goes inside and they leave. Oh, wow. Talk about outfoxing yourself. Holy shit. Here come the Rebels offense. Phone line is open. Post-game show going to be explosive. Chambliss. Ole Miss first down. Here we go. Here we go. My boy Scott says, rough night to be a Georgia fan. Touchdown, Rebels! Yeah. Touchdown, Rebs. Wow. What a throw, what a catch, what a sequence of events. What a throw, what a catch. Did anybody have the Dogs having a very, very openly bad sequence of events? Wow. Mm-mm-mm. And it is good. Point PAT is good. Ole Miss 10-point lead. 9 minutes 2 seconds left. Wow. What an unbelievable comeback. Mm-mm-mm. Yep, that's where we're at. This has been immaculate. Put a muzzle on that dog. Can't count the chickens just yet, but we're getting close. Oh yeah. They are it is the powder section is going bananas. I am sure the Georgia message boards are going to be lighting up like a downtown Christmas tree. Fourth quarter. Yeah, that's a hell of a stark contrast. 10 minutes, the Rebs. They didn't blow it dead, but Stockton. Oh! Got the PI that they wanted. So it digs them out of the hole a little bit. Dug him out of the hole a bit, but we'll see. Jersey. Yeah, he held him. No way around that one. No way around that one. Also, if you're new here and enjoy the content, hit that like and subscribe button. That helps us a ton. So Pete's just, hey, keep him engaged. Go at it. You got to tackle Frazier. Georgia is in hurry up mode. They can't waste time. Cannot waste time. Can't do it. So they're going to be pretty much in hurry up mode all the way here. That's the problem. 2-possession lead feels awfully nice. Well, the problem with that is, Scott, Georgia can score at will if they execute. Because you got to think they can only stop the clock 4 times. Watch Bell in the corner. Ooh, misfire by Stockton. He's high. They're going to try to either get the ball probably to probably Branch. I can't believe they ain't going to Zachariah Branch here, but what's it looking like? Wide open. Georgia's got 7 minutes. Here. Appreciate all 313 of you watching as we tick down to the final moments of the Sugar Bowl. If anything, Ole Miss has got to hold them to a field goal. Incomplete. So that helps. It stops the clock. Because the big thing here is that Ole Miss can essentially, if they can make Georgia use all their downs, forcing them to 2 third downs, because the clock is not on Georgia's side. There's that man, Zachariah Branch. I told you. That was the thing I was worried about. Was Zachariah Branch. Dynamic player. So barring the all right, Georgia down a field goal. Ole Miss has got to they got to go down and score. It's either got to be they have to get some type of points. A field goal is ideal. Georgia isn't going out in the night. That's for sure. I knew Georgia wouldn't go quietly Ole Miss defense has gotten a stop in them. Next time, the offense must score to keep it alive. They got a I knew Georgia was going to punch back on that one. I just knew it. I just knew that they would punch back. Now it puts the pressure on Charlie Weiss Jr. and the Ole Miss offense. Because realistically, with each first down, it takes 2 minutes off the clock. So essentially, if there's 7 minutes left, 3 first downs and you can ice it. That's essentially what you got to do. But that is if you take it to third down every time, which you don't want to. Or you could just go out there and score a damn touchdown, and we're back to square one. Come on, Rebs. Appreciate all 324 of you in here. All right. Here we go. This is where we're at. Can Trinidad make the comeback? Or, well, not the comeback, hold the lead. Got to hold the line here. Ole Miss offense. Okay. I would say you're probably going to get a steady diet of Kewan Lacey here. Lacey not shying away from the contact. This is where, at this juncture of the game, this is where Kewan Lacey can take it over, insult this thing away. Kewan Lacey, 20 rushes, 95 yards. I'd like to know when the last time Georgia gave up 100 yards on the ground. Eating some clock. Oh, there's a face mask. No foul for the face mask. Wow. Yep, right there. Plain as day. He pulled his head down. Just replaying the face mask. Third and 5. Gotta get this one. Batted at the line and the clock stops. Batted at the line of scrimmage. Now you got to punt. They missed the face mask. Rebels defense, a quick 3 and out does not help. And Branch fields it. Georgia's going to start at about the 35. About to get tight. Trailed against Auburn, trailed against Ole Miss, trailed against Florida, trailed against Tennessee. Can they put Georgia away? Can the Ole Miss defense put Georgia away? Because it's 4 down. It's all go for Georgia. They got to get to wherever to get a field goal, and that's not the way to start. The Frazier kid, unbelievable run. You got to keep him out of field goal range. Because if the drive stalls, you're looking at. It was looking good until Georgia scores that touchdown and Ole Miss goes 3 and out in 2 minutes. Frazier, nowhere to go. Okay, Ole Miss stuffs them. 2nd down, 4:40 left. Frazier's hurt. So it's going to stop at 4:39. The face mask. Wow. Cannot believe they missed that face mask. Ooh, Nick Frazier's ankle gets turned up. Frazier's coming off the field very slow. What is it going to be? 2nd and 8. Okay, here we go. Georgia's not in a real big hurry either. Hindsight 2020. Georgia keeps it on the ground. Ole Miss ripping at the ball. Georgia can't stall here. I mean, Kirby can't punt it back to him. So where is Zachariah Branch in the slot? Watch number 1. Check down. I would just leave the first team defense on the field because Georgia's going to have to go for it. And it's not over. Do not kid yourself. It is not over. Pete's taking a timeout. It's not over because Georgia's got all 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. It ain't over. Don't kid yourself. All right, here comes the Rebels. 4th and 9 for everything the whole season. Whole season. Because if Ole Miss gets a stop here, that face mask does not matter whatsoever. Branch in the slot. And you got to watch out for Stockton taking off on you. So what I told you, Zachariah Branch in the slot. That's what it was. That's where I would have went with the ball. And it was even batted. So they're just on the cusp of field goal range. Hey, there's a hold. Got one. That hurts. Are the dogs going to fall? Kirby and the dogs are not going to be some easy out. Okay. All right, here we go. So that pushes them back to the 46, 47 yard line. So if they even get to the 40, it's what, a 57-yard field goal? Batted down. 2nd and 20. I actually got to change the time of the post-game show. Edit. Let's go 11:45. Give me some type of room. Okay. Screen Zachariah Branch. So they're in field goal range. Two-minute timeout incoming. So it's 3rd and what? 3rd and 9. So they're going to let the 2-minute timeout go. So Ole Miss could possibly get the ball back with a minute with 2 timeouts. Can Chambliss lead them down there for a field goal? Yikes. Huh. I'm just going to do this quick. Banging around out there. Post-game show. Post-game show is going to be post-game show is going to be in about, I set it for 11:45, and then it'll be full-blown call-in show, and we can yak it up. To the victors goes the spoils. So we'll see. Georgia is in field goal range. That does not help because we might be heading for some free football. Just ready to get these ads over with and get it going. So there's that. Georgia's got it on the 35-yard line. I'm going to go out on a limb and say hand it off and kick the field goal. You're going to get it back with about a minute 20. But I don't know. Kirby's probably going to go for the jugular here. They got 3 wides. Empty. Stockton. Oh, and they throw the PI. That is horrible. That is horrible. That is just fascinating. Now you're in the do you take timeouts realm. Because Georgia's got all 3 of theirs. Minute 45 left. Everybody on the sideline just mouthed, that was horrible. And it was. Should have known when they came out and empty. Watch Branch, number 1. Fake the screen. What do we have here? Another PI? Yeah, he got him on that one. He hooked him around the waist. 1st and goal. 1st and goal. That's horse shit. Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Watch Branch. Stockton. Ole Miss call timeout. Yep. Yeah, the refs got money on the dogs. Well, the one PI was egregious. The second one wasn't as bad. It's like Joey Diaz tells Joe Rogan. The more and more I live this reality, the more and more the joke becomes a reality. So there's that. The Rebs had it in the bag. That 3 and out is what did it. Yep. That quick 3 and out is what did them in. I mean, Kirby's got all the time in the world. He's got 3 timeouts. Well, not. I think this is Stockton going to run it. Vegas called, can't let the dogs lose. 3rd and goal, do you hand it off again? Ole Miss calls their final timeout. Because what do you do here? You got to call your best play. Got to call your best play. Don't know if it's going to. Man, I was pulling for Ole Miss hard. Can't believe it's going to crumble like this. Where is Zachariah Branch? Yeah, he's in the slot at the bottom of the screen. He's the closest guy, well, second closest guy to the line of scrimmage now. Incomplete. So 4th down, Georgia's got to kick a cheap shot field goal or a chip shot field goal. Ole Miss has no timeouts. If he would have got his head around sooner and caught that, that'd have been a different story. But he's 3 for 3 on tying to take the lead. Okay. Can't be careless with it. Georgia ties it up. Georgia comes back from 10 points down. Kickoff ensuing. Where does Ole Miss got to get to? Like the 39-yard line? They're probably most likely going to start at the 25. So starting at the 25, you've got to get to. I'm just. Man. Well, I figured Kirby would have them kick it short, so they have to return it. Kick it to like the 10-yard line. Because I think if it's overtime, it's going to be a big problem for the Rebs. Or Kirby will go no return. So it goes out of the end zone. Tried to bait him into that. $29-41 tonight, 322 for Chambliss. Gonna get interesting. 34-34. Ole Miss has got to hit a couple of big ones in order to get in field goal range. The biggest thing is conserving time. Okay, that is safe. 5-yard pickup. And he dropped it. And he's down bad. Hits him right in the back. Jarred it loose. So here we are. I think the clock starts whenever they set the ball. Okay, what do we have? All right. Just trying to check this mess out. All right. I'm assuming Kirby's telling him to pinch the sidelines. Don't let anybody outside of you. You got to force them to the center of the field. Try to funnel everything. 3rd and 5 coming after Trinidad. Oh, he hits it. You got to spike it. Ole Miss inside the 30. Let's go. Let's go. Spike it, center it, kick it. Let's GTFO. Okay, PBU. 16 seconds. You need at least 10 seconds to run the field goal unit on. Center the ball and spike it. Do not throw it. Center it and spike it and get the field goal unit out there. Okay, throws it away. Third and 10, 13 seconds. Trinidad Chambliss hits a big pass play. I'm assuming they're going to throw it out of bounds again because he's trying to run Georgia out of time. Nine seconds. Field goal unit, get on the field. This is going to be an epic post-game show. Biggest kick in program history. 53 of 60. Coming up right here. Of course, Kirby's going to call a timeout. So here we go for all the marbles, everything. Pete Golding dabbed him up. Oh, I gotta put 15 minutes on the post-game show. Or 10. Okay. All right. And it's good. It's good. 6 seconds left. 6 seconds left. Pete Golding trying to get him off the field. The Ole Miss cheerleaders going crazy. 6 seconds left. Do not kick it to Zachariah Branch. I repeat, do not kick it to Zachariah Branch. Do not kick it to Zachariah Branch. Please, for the love of God, do not kick it to Zachariah Branch. They got close. Georgia did get close to it. The holder's more excited than the kicker. Don't kick it to Branch, please. Kick it out of the end zone. Oh, and they're going to return it? Lateral. Safety. Oh, no. It's over. Ole Miss wins by 5. Wow. All right. Well, we're going to jump on the post-game show. Give me like 10 minutes, all right? Appreciate everybody watching. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you in a few. Later.